If you've recently lost a loved one and now there's a condo sitting in the estate, you're probably overwhelmed right now. One person is telling you you have to wait for probate. Another says that you can list it immediately. Someone else is warning you about the legal delays, the taxes, the court timelines, or the buyers backing out. And meanwhile, the condo is just sitting there. The strata fees keep coming, the property tax keeps coming, the insurance, utilities, and stress. The big question becomes, how long is this actually going to take? And can you sell the condo before probate is finished? In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how probate condo sales work here in British Columbia, including what probate actually is, realistic timelines that nobody talks about, when you can list the property, when you can actually complete the sale, and a few costly mistakes that can delay everything for months. And stick around to the end, because I'll also share a simple timeline I use with clients here in Kelowna so that you can stop guessing and actually start planning this process properly. I'm Mark, a Kelowna condo specialist, and I've helped families all across the Okanagan navigate probate sales during some pretty emotional and stressful times. So let's start with the biggest misunderstanding people have about probate. A lot of people think that probate is the process of selling the property. It's not. Probate is really the legal process where the court confirms, yes, the will is valid, and yes, the executor has authority to deal with the estate. That's the key. Because if the condo was owned solely in the deceased person's name, the land titles office usually won't allow the title to be transferred until probate has been granted. And this is where families often feel stuck. Emotionally, everybody's ready to move forward, but legally, the estate may not have authority yet. Now, there are some exceptions. If the condo was owned jointly with the right of survivorship, for example, between spouses, then ownership often transfers directly to the surviving owner without needing probate for that property. But if the condo was in one person's name only, then probate is almost always part of the process. The other thing that people don't realize is that probate in BC can also involve probate fees based on the value of the estate. So between the legal timelines, the court processing, ongoing carrying costs, and emotional stress, most families want the process moving as efficiently as possible. Now let's talk about the question that everyone asks first. Okay, so how long does probate actually take? And this is where expectations and reality can really clash, because many people hear that probate only takes a few weeks, but what they experience, it feels more like, why has this taken almost half a year already? Here's the reality. There are two timelines that are actually happening at the same time. Timeline number one is preparing the probate application. This means you're gathering all the documents like the will, death certificate, financial statements, property information, working with the lawyer, and preparing the court filing correctly. Timeline number two, waiting for the court to process everything and then issue the grant of probate. Now, if everything is straightforward and paperwork is complete, many estates in BC, they see probate granted somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks after filing. But delays happen all the time. You have court backlogs, missing paperwork, issues with the will, beneficiary disputes, and requests for additional documents. So realistically, if you're dealing with a straightforward condo estate here in BC, I usually tell families to emotionally prepare for somewhere closer to the 2 to 4 months before probate is fully granted. And for the full estate process, selling the condo, closing the sale, paying the debts, and distributing funds, many estates end up closer in the 6 to 12 month range. Now, I know hearing that can feel overwhelming, but honestly, knowing the real timeline up front helps reduce stress later, because unrealistic timelines are what create panic during probate. Now, here's the part that confuses almost everybody. And honestly, this is where a lot of bad advice gets thrown around online. People ask, can I sell the condo before probate is complete? And the real answer is, you can often market the condo before probate, but you usually cannot complete the sale until after probate is granted. That distinction is massive, because many executors, they think they have to sit around doing absolutely nothing for months, and that's usually not true. In many probate sales, we can prepare the condo, stage it, photograph it, list it on the market, attract buyers and even negotiate offers, while probate is still moving through the courts. But the contract has to be structured properly. This is where subject to probate clause becomes extremely important, because if you sign a contract with a completion date and that happens before probate is granted, you can create a very stressful situation if the court gets delayed. And unfortunately, I've seen executors pressured into timelines they legally couldn't meet because nobody explained this up front. This is also why communication between the realtor and the estate lawyer matters so much. The lawyer is going to handle the probate and the title. The realtor is going to handle the pricing, marketing, negotiations, and the buyer expectations. Both sides, they need to work together so that the contract timelines add up to the legal timeline. So let me give you a realistic example of what this timeline often looks like in the real world. Step 1, the first few weeks usually are legal prep and property prep happening at the same time. The lawyer is gathering the estate documents and preparing the probate application. Meanwhile, on the real estate side, we're often assessing the condo value, managing all the furniture and the possessions, organizing and looking at the strata documents, coordinating cleaning, handling small repairs, arranging the photos, and preparing the property for market. Then comes phase 2. Probate has been filed, but we're still waiting on the court. This is where many executors choose to list the condo. Now, buyers are informed up front that this is an estate sale and that completion is going to depend on probate being granted. Sometimes we'll even negotiate flexible completion dates to create some breathing room in case the courts move slowly. Then there's phase 3. Probate gets approved. The lawyer registers the executor or estate authority on the property title, and now the sale can actually complete and transfer to the buyer. And this is exactly why I often tell families not to wait until probate is finished before talking to a realtor, because legal prep and real estate prep, it can often run in parallel, and that can save months. Now, let's talk about a few mistakes I see over and over again in probate condo sales. Mistake number 1, signing contracts with unrealistic completion dates. This is probably the biggest one, because if probate gets delayed, and delays are common, the executor can end up in an incredibly stressful position trying to renegotiate dates with buyers. That's why proper contract structure matters so much. Mistake number 2, letting the condo sit vacant and unmanaged for months. I completely understand why this happens. Families are grieving, people are busy, sometimes nobody lives nearby. But vacant condos can create real problems: insurance issues, maintenance issues, water damage risks, and ongoing carrying costs slowly eating away at the estate. The strata fees don't stop because probate's happening. Neither do the taxes or the utilities. Mistake number 3, poor communication between professionals. Your lawyer and your realtor should not be operating separately. The legal timeline directly affects the marketing strategy and the contract terms. Mistake number 4, rushing decisions because of emotional pressure. This process is emotional. A lot of executors feel guilty. They feel pressure from beneficiaries. They feel pressure to get it done, pressure to just move faster. But probate timelines in BC are often slower than people expect. That's just normal. The goal isn't speed at all costs. The goal is protecting the estate while still moving forward. My role during a probate condo sale is really to reduce uncertainty and reduce stress. The lawyer handles the court process and the legal authority. My job is to make sure that the real estate side runs smooth around that timeline. That includes pricing strategy, condo-specific marketing, preparing the property, coordinating with the lawyers, managing the buyer-realtor expectations, and structuring offers that actually fit the probate process. And honestly, a big part of my job is just helping families feel less overwhelmed. Because if you're grieving and trying to navigate probate for the first time, this entire process can feel incredibly heavy. And if things are taking longer than you expect, I want you to know that that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. For many estates in BC, the timelines we talked about today are completely normal. If you're dealing with a condo in an estate anywhere in Kelowna or the Okanagan, and you're not sure where to start, feel free to reach out, even if you're months away from listing. I'm happy to walk you through what the process could look like in your specific situation. Now, just to be clear, I am not a lawyer, and this video is not legal advice, but I do work closely with some BC estate lawyers all the time, and I can absolutely help you understand the real estate side of the process and the questions that you should be asking. I'll also put a probate condo sale checklist in the description below to help you get organized. And if you found this video helpful, it would be great if you could hit the like button. Doing this, it might help someone else find this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.